but it is pretty important to me to slice these guys in two. Just reading through chat as I allow time to tick by, and I worry about the Mamluks. Jake, as an Empire/Massive Horde, wouldn't you need to be at constant war just to keep unity up? Well, that is part of the challenge. However, the hit from being large is capped. I can't remember what it is, -5 or -3. Those numbers seem to come to mind. Okay, seems that neither of us are too willing to give in to this, so I might as well take control of the Sunni lands that I really want. So yeah, that's Mush, Cizre, Mosul. Oh yeah, it would help if I had an individual free for that. I think Shirvan are going to be too angry at me picking apart their large angry neighbour. You never know with these guys. I want my core back as well. Very important that I give this province to Mamluks, otherwise they are going to get platinum angry, and it's just one province. 1-5 development province. Of course, if I took this, that would open up some other problems. I'm wondering if I actually want to do that. I think I do. I think I do. That's good enough for me, right? You are also the right province for me. I don't want to go too much further north because I'd be sitting on Armenian garbage. But conversely, if I made Armenia my slave, we'd be looking at some better stuff, wouldn't we? It's also worth considering these provinces. He says. Might just go for that. Grab a bit of money as well, keep Mamluks happy. So that's a lot of land, that's a lot of not too happy people, but we're going to do it anyway. Grab Mush and Ulmia as well, Jake. Ulmia? Ah, yes, there we go. That seems alright. I mean, I'm tempted to go down for more Iraqi land, but I think that's going to come in due time anyway. There is the issue that the Timurids may well push for more. I want to hold out for just a little longer. Horde unity I'm not too worried about, 'cause soon we'll be burning enough to get it back. And I should be big enough to support a vassal or two without them getting platinum mad. Oh my, the coffers are empty in these provinces, and I want them. Yeah, I want my Ganja field reweeded, but Azerbaijani, Shia, not my claim, not anything, not even Armenian. I think we'll embrace the Armenians, have them under us. Okay, Timmy seems completely unwilling to go through with this. I want to pay attention to the culture here as well, because, okay, it's just Syrian that's accepted for us, none of this. And good to pay loads of attention to what you're after. Alright, there's a lot of dilly-dallying here, so let's just get through with it. This peace deal seems perfectly acceptable for me. I never say no to money. Unless it's, can I take your money? Yeah, so on the fence about this province. Why won't they just give it to me? They almost would, that's a thing, but... all the more reason to go to war later. And it gives us some nice borders. Although I really... I want Shirvan. I want Shirvan to board... ah, well. We can punch our way through Georgia. It's no worry. No worry at all. Let's do it. So there we go. Thankfully, the Mamluks are not quite so pissed off with me, and we got a couple of favors. Those tick up over time. And we're nice and big. Nice and really big. I still don't want to pay for these forts, but they may come in handy. But the first order of business, as always, is to start raising the places. That is nice. Can't raise our own core provinces, which is also why we can't raise Urzium. It was already our core, so nothing to do there. Now, let's deal with the Armenians first and foremost. They gotta go. Heck, they all gotta go. Crunch. Gotta be wary of our powers there. We might be hitting the limit. Burn it all. It's all got to go. Good heavens, that was satisfying. Jake, can you elaborate a bit on how war participation is calculated from sieging forts and from taking part in battles? Not sure if sieging unfortified land really counts. I think you might get a tiny amount, but the specifics are a little out there for me. I cannot remember everything. So, seems you want a lot of my land. You're going to hate me for a while, but the wonderful thing about you is that I can attack you, bypassing the Ottoman hate your guts feelings that made him warn me at the very start of the game. So we're looking alright at 164 development within the opening 6, 7, 8 years. Not bad. Not too shabby. Release vassal, Jake. I'm starting to have second thoughts about it, to be honest. They are Coptic, which is horrible, and Georgia would make a lovely vassal themselves. And look at that, they're 100%. I'm going to eye up the possibility of just vassalizing them instead. Oh, I need to wait for the turn of the month to get my little casus belli on them. Oh, snap. What's going on here? Okay, well, there's not much left of Qoyunlu. But the Timurids might be falling apart with all of that, to be honest. I don't think they're going to be doing too hot. The Persian region is up in anger, not only from the Persians, but there are Timurid tribes. You can get tribal rebels now. You don't want them, just a piece of advice. So, you there, now your little friend will help you, but you know who won't help me? The Mamluks. I don't owe them 10 favours, I dragged them through debt, they're a little exhausted. But most importantly, they are not interested in land. So even if I promise them territorial gains, that just adds a minus 1,000, because they don't want any Georgia land that AK has not claimed. We can look into that in more detail here. Look at that, they don't even care. And I was right, they did get more interested in this land, but at least they got bigger fish to fry, especially Venetian fish. And the Cypriots. Maybe I should claim Cyprus. It is a consideration, but I don't want to really butt heads with Mamluks whilst we're still buddy-buddy. Do want to butt heads with Georgia though, but remember, no one's going to help me there. Unless... Huh... Why was I under the impression that Georgia had claims on cores on these? Oh well. Golden Horde is already a bit too busy in a war, so they're unlikely to help me out there. Jake, wait, is Cyprus Western now? You didn't see that. Alright, you just get out of here. Yeah, I know I could marry the Golden Horde for an alliance, but they're in a bit of a pickle at the moment. They would be unreliable. I can't stand unreliable folks. Could always just go for the Timurids, but that's probably going to cause me more problems than it would solve. So I'm still on the fence about releasing Armenia, because I could just give it to Georgia, and they would deal with that. Tricky, isn't it? Oh well, give it some thought. Tribal rebels, they deal with estate stuff, I believe, so who knows, we might end up getting some. Especially when they demand control of our provinces. So again, we've taken over a bunch of provinces, which means the tribes now control relatively less. So we need to give them some, show them a bit of love, or at least lip service. Now that money is a bit of an inaccurate thing. We're going to be running a bit of a loss here. So I need to start thinking, do I want to give this land away? And if so, what do I want to give away? And consider that giving land to them increases the manpower by 100% and reduces unrest. So I really should be giving them land that... Oh man, I took Sinjar, which is Shia? I thought they weren't converting that. Well, that's all the more reason to give the tribes control over that, because it'll reduce the unrest there. But I don't think I'll really mind if they rise up. Because they're Iraqi. They're going to stick to Iraq cores. Oh right, there are more Iraqi cores than I thought. Oh well, have your bloomin' autonomy then. So I want to give them land that is fairly high in manpower, since it's 100%. That one fits the bill. It's also a nice chunk of development. I'd love to start taking these decisions, but they need more influence. And I'm not about to dish out most of my country. Give them the Armenian land would be an idea, but I'm thinking about releasing Armenia anyway. Would love to give it to Georgia. Or I could just core it myself, I have no problems. Nah, I'll make a vassal. Couldn't hurt to have one, right? There you go, Armenia. Do me proud. I'm on the fence about this fort, though. Get out of here. If they had the fort, there's no way they could afford it. But it's strategically very useful. Strategically extremely useful. Ah well, burn it to the ground. No, they can keep it. I'll just integrate it later. I'll have to keep a close eye on it, though. There you go, Armenia. Welcome to the world. I already burned your provinces down, so you can have what's left. And it's time for rivals. The Ottomans, definitely. Jake, you can release Persia as a vassal. I don't want to release Persia as a vassal. They would just end up hating me and going against me. Calling it now. With all of our points, we also need to get our coring on the go. At least it's nice and cheap. Mostly because I burnt everything to the ground. It's funny the way the cycle works out. So we got the Mamluks as a friend, but I don't think that alone is going to help against the Ottomans if they truly come knocking. That is why we're increasing our relations with Poland. Not the same religious group, neutral attitude. Well, at the very least, I can set myself to friendly, so just in case we fit the bill, they may just offer me an alliance. That would be nice. There we go, friendly towards them. You can't set attitudes towards allies, though. You have an alliance attitude there. They view me as a valuable ally. They just don't trust me at all. Jake, Tech 4, so your vassal has 4 too. That would have been a great idea. Shame I didn't think of it. Also, I wasn't near it. Also, I don't want my vassals to have good diplomatic tech, so you'd almost think I thought that one through. Still want to remove Trebizond from the map. Best, most direct way I could do that is to fight Georgia. People are going to be rising up soon. I'll save my autonomy increase for when that's happening. Being asked about trucking, I don't have an answer for that. Not yet, at least. So get to it, my men. Convert these lands to my cores. 75% of my force limit is not something I'm about to reach. Not whilst I'm running this kind of deficit. But deficit like this is alright. It's just a shame we're not looting it higher. We actually lack targets at the moment, which is a horrible feeling. Now, if I were to declare war on you, Mamluks would almost not join in. They would hate me for it. But you know what? Couldn't hurt to just throw a cheeky little claim there. I don't really think I care much about Tabaristan's feelings at this point in time. Although they hilariously could end up a nice ally. Small nations actually make surprisingly good allies these days, because they can, since they have the +1 monthly income for being independent. It is still +1, right? Yep. They can still field a decent amount. Any rebels you can export? Perhaps, but I'm not thinking about that at the moment. Well, there are the Karamanese, but there's no guarantee they would export. They could well just traipse around my own country. So I don't care too much about you anymore, but I do care about getting some claims. Like, well, Trebizond actually doesn't matter since we're going to be removing them in general. I want that province, though. Timurids have really blocked me off from Qoyunlu's destiny, and surprisingly they're dealing with the rebels not too badly. Can you show us the new loan mechanics? What in the world? Jake, do you have a goal for this campaign? I would kind of like to do an achievement run, but because I'm running on the review copy, the only achievements are the base 60. So if I really wanted to do 3 mountains again, I could, but I won't. Also, autosaves on Iron Man are now every 4 months, I believe. So isn't that nice? Ottomans gunning down Venice. Well, thanks for not gunning me down. Although, if they were to go for Trebizond, I would want to jump on them because they wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to do much about that. And warnings blow. Taking all of Georgia would be an expensive affair. I'm not even sure they would remain all that loyal if I were to take them and spit them out. I mean, Armenia themselves are at 12, so it seems a little unlikely. Ah, that's actually great. Fort or not, it's their capital. So we'll be okay. How's it going there, Poland? Still a wee bit away from even considering an alliance, and I can't marry them. Soon my foreign contacts will go away. And I don't have diplomatic reputation, guy. Well, what can you do? Jake, do you think you'd still be able to do 3 mountains? Yes, but I do not want to. Not at all. Right, the Ottomans are really mobilizing against Venice. Corfu, Naxos, Savoy, and Montferrat. Somehow I don't think that's going to provide much of a challenge. That's why I really need the Pole on my side. Still really eyeing up Georgia. I could smash these guys, but I would have to expand my army a fair chunk. So why don't I think about this? If I were to raise a host, they would need influence of 50. Which would be a fair chunk, so I would have to give them a province that is fairly good. I don't want to give them a province that's already got fairly low autonomy. Well, I think I should raise a host and flatten these guys. I can take Trebizond for myself, annex Georgia, and then, man, it would be some troublesome land and they would probably revolt against me. That's the annoying thing. And it would stop me from heading up north to the land that I really want. But you know what? That's quitter talk. I'm no quitter. Hey. Sure, you want your tribes? You have your tribes. And you there. I mean, it's just a little bit. Control provinces isn't making quite the impact that I need it to here, but I don't want to give them too much. As if I have a look at this. These provinces are better than I thought. Karaman, for example, can go to them. And that's a nice chunk of influence for them. Now. Excellent. So why did I want it high enough to do these? Well, their loyalty is already really high, so I'm more than happy to gain some free manpower. Yes, you must contribute your warriors to me. The minister I'm not too concerned about, but I want that host. 10 years of 15 influence. And I get a free general, so yes please. You're doing that in Mosul, right? Yep. Now if you're like me, you might suddenly start thinking, I want to sell these guys. But you won't get the money for it, because they were built for free. You get the manpower though, but that kind of defeats the whole point. So they have higher influence. Might seem great, because I get better bonuses from them, and you know, these are lovely interactions. But, and there is always a but, if that goes to 80 or more, and here we go, dominance of the tribes. Let me talk about these, because I triggered one by accident once when I was just playing, better not say for fun, just in case my bosses are watching, but testing, let's say. And yeah, when you get a disaster from one of your estates having too much power, it's pretty horrible. It's not like a regular disaster where you're going to get inundated with events and such, but you're going to be stuck with this horrible malice. Development tech and idea cost plus 50% until you curtail them. Curtailing them involves bringing their influence back down, so you would have to revoke provinces from them or wait for modifiers to run away. Now for me, if I were to revoke provinces, they'd get a little angry. So look at that. Yeah, their loyalty would come down quite a lot actually. But if you keep doing that when they're really unhappy, they will spark a revolt in every province that you revoke it from. Yeah, that's not good at all. It's not good for us. And even after you get their influence down, you're going to have to take a decision which has some costs and really just generally hurts. So you don't want to do that. Be careful is what I'm saying. Alright, we'll be able to get ourselves Tech 4. We may as well do it now because, you know, we're the best. And we want to discourage the Ottomans from feasting on us because we are a glass cannon at the moment. Mamluks still like us, albeit tentatively. And we got a 2-fire, 1 maneuver general as our free general from the interaction. I am unimpressed, to be honest. Pretty unimpressed. But 2-fire is probably better than that, so you go away. Also, you're younger, so you'll last longer. It's quite nice that these are getting made faster than normal, so soon we'll have an army to rival. Rival anything around us, to be honest, especially Qoyunlu, joke nation. Not so happy with all this Shia land, to be honest. Jake, if you're showing the... shoot. Increasing my stability at this moment is heavy going because of overextension. But I really don't want to encourage these rebels more. I should have added a +1 before I took on all this overextension. Oh well, let's just bite the cost. Oof. Well, let's just enjoy it. Who needs ideas, right? Jake, what is the northern QQ land called? It is called Qoyunlu Shirvan. And that's a good excuse to check this out, the area system. Now, it's within Shirvan's area, so it adopts the name of Shirvan. If it grew bigger, it would probably be called Qoyunlu Caucasia. Because that is not where the capital is. Their capital is located down here. I wonder if there's any regional naming that we can show right off the bat here, but I can't think of many people that have disjointed land at this point in the game. Nothing really comes to mind. Oh well, I'm sure there will be people that get divided up plenty. So our army assembles, our monetary status goes down the toilet. I start wondering about that force limit that I would actually be getting close to, but nah. I think Trebizond will have to be removed from the map. That is going to happen. Let's get rid of you. Corfu. Admirable attempt, but ultimately futile. Jake, why Shirvan if they have more provinces in the Armenia area? How is that determined? Honestly, I don't have an answer to that. It'll pick one of the regions. I'm sure there's priority on it. I just don't know it. And that is the honest-to-goodness answer. So, what do we do now? We gotta kill. Trebizond have a little army there stuck in the mountains. Might be difficult for some to crack, but not for us. Oh, 2 mercantilism. Thank you kindly. Hurts my horde unity, which hurts discipline and national unrest. But what are you gonna do about it? Just to be sure, they don't have any cores on us. That's going to prevent our own coring process. And our tech is fine. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do with Georgia, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Yeah, what will I do? You get him. You get God's left testicle. And actually, might as well go for the overkill. And this is... oh man, we don't care about Syrian anymore. What a shame. So I can't declare war on you, since people will be mad, but I can declare war on you. Might as well make it tribal conquest, because it is the greatest casus belli known to man. And yeah, the Mamluks again, they're not interested. They don't owe me favours, and they're not interested in land. Have a quick look at that again. So I gain 1 favour every 2 years. It depends on who's the bigger of the two, really. Back when I was really small, I would only gain a favour every 3 years, so it would be long going before you can start using an AI as your wrecking ball. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like I said, Trebizond, get involved in here. This is tribal superiority. I am going to kill you. You're forgetting Golden Rule. What would Rance do? Rance would kill both of them. Yeah, Trebizond is only allied with Georgia, so you can chew on that guarantee, my friend. Armenia is going to get floored by Georgia, but that is neither here nor there. And yeah, I have undefended forts, but I'm not concerned about that because I can deal with those. It's even better if they gun them down. So let's just do it. Why even hesitate? There is war to be had. I probably missed something, but what you gonna do? Oh yeah, there's the fact that you have a fort right there. I really hope you don't pay for it. You paid for it. Ah well. Georgia's going to move in for the kill there, but nobody knows killing better than me. Splat. I didn't even have a moment to show what I wanted to show there. But that is Trebizond just flattened. Gonna leave a tiny little force there. I'm wondering if that's what I want to do. I think we'll hold off here and see what he wants to do. Probably won't want to enter either of these provinces, but I'm not overly keen on fighting him, to be honest. What would Brian Boitano do? Should he be here today? He'd probably kick an ass or two. Alright, seems he just wants to play the watching game. I'm not very happy on taking a little hit going into him, but you know what? No guts, no glory. Die, Georgia. Just die. He was very keen to do as I said there. Okay. Might as well spread out and destroy here. We're going to merge all of our units together because, to be honest, I don't have the anything to support the large army I have at the moment. So we'll merge them all together and just detach them off into smaller siege forces. Oops, missed the bell there. And oh yeah, that's right. We have this Trebizond blocking us here, don't we? And we have you there. We won't be able to proceed very far unless we take down the Trebizond fort. Or we move into the Georgian fort. Yeah, that's right. Your allies' forts now go across the borders here. So what can I do? Well, at the very least we can move into these areas, and if I take that fort, there's little you can do about it. I also want to take the areas there. And might as well gun you down as well. Whilst you take that, but I don't want you in control here. So get out of there. And we only need one fella on that. What could possibly go wrong? Jake has Georgia on his mind. Well, we are going to be exploring, so yes, we do. This is unfortunate because it gives him an opportunity to raise an army that I don't want him to get. So I'm going to have to make a move on his capital to push further. One of the two capitals needs to fall. Might as well be this one, to be honest. And it'll fall. A little concerned about Trebizond here, though, because he could come and just splat me. So let's keep it actually reinforced with two of them. We'll get our good friend Armenia to help us out with this one. Good, you're also in this zone of control, so you can move in there. So, there we go. Do not want this going on, though. Okay, we'll just get you all there and do a suicidal charge into the mountains. Starting to look more and more suicidal as they build up their forces here. So I'll get you guys over to defend that with our throwaway general. I'd love to go and fight him, but movement is blocked. And since the forts extend over borders, I can't exactly just get access around it. Okay, so he's definitely rebuilding up his army here. I need one of these forts to go, or else I'm going to be stuck. Jake, are estates based on government type, religion, or tech group? For hordes, I believe it's on government. Diplo or prestige? Could take or leave both at this point, but I may need the prestige later on. Piety is already maxed out, but we want to keep it that way, don't we? Boom. So it's a real shame that he's got all those men there, but we can get our glorious leader on the case soon enough. Of course, if he actually wants to attack us there, that's going to be a bother. Well, we already have enough to siege you down